questions to ask, right? I campaign with the confidence rising. I told EEF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
We're back. We're back. It's a solo stream. It's a solo one today, guys. We're back on the solo settings. It's an early episode, but nevertheless, here's the intro. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. Welcome back to the Premier League Review Show. Woo! Cue the fireworks, cue the fanfare, cue the mass hysteria for seeing the most watched show in all of YouTube reappear, and you know, all that good stuff. Should you ever want to join me in my Premier League ramblings this evening, there is the link. It is in the chat. Click it, join me, talk about your team, talk about anything really, the Premier League, man's inhumanity to man, you know, will the world ever stop spinning? You know, existential crisis stuff. You know, the stuff that's probably gonna, you know, end all existence. You know, anything that's troubling you, I'm here. You know, just jump in. Big up Brush, big up yourself, and Moss. Yes, Arsenal at Kenny today, and Arsenal live on Amazon Prime at Kenilworth Road against Luton Town, and Wolves are playing as well against another one of the Premier League teams. It's there. Burnley, they're at home to Burnley at Molineux, of course. First things first, it's time for the news. At some point, I will have a little, you know, thingamajig, whatchamacallums for, you know, this is the news. But for now, this is the news. Top headlines. Well, there is one story that broke. Obviously, coming off of the weekend, this was reported by all your outlets, by all your tabloids, all your people who think, oh, look at us, we're journalists. Oh. And of course, it was broke first by Paul Ornstein of The Athletic that Paul Heckingbottom was expected to be sacked. He is now, at time of recording, that being Tuesday, the 5th of... I thought it was the 6th. Is it not? It's the 5th. It's the 5th. Tuesday, the 5th of December, 2023 at 5:33 p.m. local time. Paul Heckingbottom has been sacked as Sheffield United manager. This comes off of the 5-0 thrashing at the hands of fellow relegation candidates Burnley at Turf Moor this past game week. It saw Heckingbottom's 12th Premier League loss this season, and it was the straw that broke the camel's back. Unfortunately, for Heckingbottom, it comes at a time that Sheffield United obviously had in transfer embargoes. There's stuff going on behind the scenes at Bramall Lane that has led to the unfortunate dismissal of Paul Heckingbottom. He is replaced, however, by a former Sheffield United manager, that being Chris Wilder. Chris Wilder, who brought them up in the first place, if you remember, from their long time in the Championship, or at least in the lower leagues of the football pyramid. They weren't in the Premier League until Chris Wilder brought them up through many great games, a great run in the Championship they had under Wilder, which saw them come up into the Premier League, and they really took it by storm in their first season, it has to be said, going as high as even 4th and 5th at times during their season. And I do believe they finished quite well. I think they had the highest finish for a newly promoted side in a long time. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I think they had one of the highest finishes of a promoted side the same season. Unfortunately, second season syndrome would hit Sheffield United at that time. Chris Wilder would be dismissed during that second season. Not necessarily his fault again. I just think second season syndrome. The loss of Dean Henderson at that time, who proved to be a great talisman for them in goal. He had great performances in the sticks for Sheffield United whilst he was on loan from Manchester United at the time. But unfortunately, it didn't all gel in that second season, and Wilder was dismissed. And Sheffield were unfortunately relegated that same season. But now he's back in the driving seat. He is back in the big chair. Will he get the backing? Possibly. Again, transfer embargoes are going to hurt. They're going to make any manager's job difficult, no matter what club you're at. Be you 20th or 1st in the Premier League, an embargo will affect your team in the direct run. So unfortunately, this might be damage limitation. A lot of people have questioned why going backwards, why Sheffield have gone backwards in terms of rehiring Chris Wilder. I think maybe the decision, at least from my point of view, it looks to be like a damage limitation. Okay, we've got this guy, we know what he can do. Let's bring him in to steady the ship and let's see what happens. It could be a case of this is just us getting ready to be relegated and going to the Championship again. More so social media is leaning in towards the second one, towards the latter. This is them getting ready to be relegated. It is unfortunate considering when we're just coming up on the halfway mark of the season. But yeah, so the top headline, to recap, Paul Heckingbottom sacked at Sheffield United and has been replaced forthwith by the former Sheffield United manager, Chris Wilder. In other news, Simon Hooper, the referee who officiated the Manchester City versus Tottenham Hotspur game on Sunday, is due to officiate the Sheffield United versus Liverpool game this tomorrow, I believe. Do not quote me on that. Is it tomorrow? I do believe. Such a professional show here. Yes, it is tomorrow. It is tomorrow that Simon Hooper will be referee once again. This comes off with the controversy of his decision to, as I understand it, he played advantage in favour of Man City, then blew his whistle and brought it back for a foul, which caused them to lose a goal scoring opportunity or something. All I know is Erling Haaland, the angry face turned him into a great meme. So that was funny. It ended in a 3-3 draw. We'll talk about that one later on. Moss here says, sent picks in yesterday's weird secret rules, not counting our picks, has me flustered for the week. You got him in now, man. You've got him in now. You're all safe. It's all in. You're locked in. Wilder back in the wilderness. Are you proud of that one, Moss? Are you... Not Prem related, says Montana, but what are your thoughts on the Tony Mowbray firing? Mowbray, yeah, it was Michael. So yeah, we had Michael Duff yesterday get sacked at Swansea, and then Tony Mowbray getting sacked at Sunderland. When Sunderland are in the top 10, I think what? Let me have a look at the Championship table. I need to bring up this table again because it was it took me by surprise. Sunderland currently, as it stands as of today, 9th in the table, in the Championship table, 3 points, with quite favourable goal difference in their favour of the playoffs, which is balmy. I don't think there was any. As I understand it, Sunderland have had a poor run recently. I think it was a one win in 5. Yeah, 1 win in 5 after a 1-1 draw at Millwall. But Sunderland, this has to be something behind the scenes. This is something that's not happening on the pitch, because 1 win in 5. It's not great. It's not even good. It's bad. But the Championship is a 46-game season, and Sunderland are looking good. Sunderland, who were in the playoffs last season, in which they lost to Luton Town in the semi-finals, but still playoffs. I think Sunderland will come to. It wouldn't surprise me if Heckenbottom actually spawns at Sunderland. He'll appear there. I don't quite know. My thoughts are, Montana, it's behind the scenes. There's something backstage that's happened between manager and staff, be that owners, coaching staff, whatever. Something has happened there that's caused him to either lose the dressing room. And speaking of losing the dressing room, we'll also talk about another manager who apparently might have lost his dressing room. But yeah, it's a strange one. I would not have sacked Mowbray. If I was at Sunderland, I would not have sacked him, to be honest. Moss also says, Burnley at Molineux today. What do you think? I think Burnley coming off that 5-0 win. And then again, it's against Sheffield. Wolves, who defend very, very well. They've come into form. I reckon that could be a draw. But I won't be surprised if Wolves pull out 3 points there. Do you know what? I'll stick with that. 3 points for Wolves, even though my predictions probably don't show that. The Blades, yep. Leicester Ipswich looking good. Well, let's have a look. Do you know what? Before we go into more of the news, let's take a look at the Championship. I want to, because they're near enough. They're nearly reaching their halfway point. They're on 19 games played. If we go top, do you know what? Let me share my screen. I might as well. Let's talk about it. No, that's my settings. Hang on. There we go. Right. Give me 1 second. Right, let's have a look at the Championship. There it is. Right, so here's the Championship as it stands right now. Let me just bring it back up. There it is. So, I would never expect to see Queen's Park Rangers here. I've sort of blocked off the comments as well, so I can't exactly see the comments as well. So, okay, never mind. Right, Sheffield Wednesday not looking great for them, but then again, leadership right now at Wednesday is not looking great. Rotherham always seem to find themselves in this battle down here. Huddersfield, Stoke, Millwall not having great seasons. Millwall, I would have thought would have been higher. Swansea, who just sacked Michael Duff. Yeah, it is Michael Duff. In there, Plymouth Argyle, who got promoted out of League One, looking good for them right now. Birmingham, almost like mid-table. Norwich, who usually are in the conversation for playoffs, just lingering in 13th. This is sort of like the no man's land. When you go up to like 11th, this is the no man's land. But you see how close it is. This is why, don't get me wrong, I love the Premier League, okay? I think the Premier League is one of the best leagues in the world. But if you want excitement, if you want non-stop excitement, you look to the football leagues, you look to League One, League Two, the Championship, because it is non-stop. When you see just Hull City are hanging on to that 6th place right now, but then you got Blackburn, Preston, Sunderland, Watford, Cardiff, and Borough all sniffing at the chance. Wonderful, wonderful. Southampton and Leeds, who have the exact same last 6 form, undefeated in their last 6 games, probably gunning for this 2nd place here. But Ipswich Town looking good. Maybe Ipswich in that front running place to battle Leicester for the championship title. I've turned this into a wrestling conversation. Leicester and Ipswich at WrestleMania. Book it, Vince. It's not even Vince anymore. Anyway, moving on. But yeah, so there's the championship table for you. It's looking like a good season yet again. But yeah, back to the comments. So yes, Leicester Ipswich looking good. Sunderland Leeds not looking too bad too. And Montana says that makes sense. Right, let's get back to the news. The FA Cup is back for the Premier League teams. The 3rd round draw was made, and It is official, and I need to find. I don't have the I thought I'd saved them. 1 second, guys. I thought I had the I thought I had the picture for them all. Oh no, I don't. Right, let me just run away and go get the cup draw. Oh, here we go. The BBC have saved me here. Okay, let's share the screen again, guys. Hooray! Here we go. So let's bring this back up here. So Luton Town versus Bolton Wanderers. Shrewsbury Town versus Wrexham. Probably the look of the draw is here. Arsenal versus Liverpool. Two teams that will be gunning for the FA Cup. Arsenal, who are always in that conversation. The FA Cup is their competition, it has to be said. Stoke will play host to Brighton. As we just scroll down, West Ham versus Bristol. Another Premier League showdown with Tottenham and Burnley. AFC Wimbledon play Ipswich Town. Millwall host Leicester. Then there's this. When I tell you that when I saw that there was going to be, after God knows how many years, a Tyne-Wear derby, I'm not even for I'm a Southerner for crying. I'm Irish for crying out loud. And this I care about. A Tyne-Wear derby. Sunderland play host to Newcastle United at the Stadium of Light, and it will be electric. If that's not televised, what is the point? Crystal Palace face Everton, as we talked about yesterday. Middlesbrough will play host to Aston Villa. Nottingham Forest will play host to either Blackpool or the Forest Green Rovers. Wigan Athletic have Manchester United. Huddersfield Town will visit Manchester City at the Etihad. Gillingham host Sheffield United. Chelsea will play host to Preston North End. Bit of a close game here. QPR versus Bournemouth, not far for the Cherries to go. Brentford, another Premier League showdown here. Wolverhampton Wanderers. Plymouth Argyle face my local team, Sutton United. Newport County will face either Barnet or Eastleigh. I do believe it's Maidstone, Barnet, and Eastleigh who are the lowest ranked teams in the FA Cup left. Let's just quickly scan through this. Really good. Alfreton Town and Walsall are there as well. Crewe Alexandra as well. But yeah, not as many conference north-south teams in there. But yeah. Boss says, hope Tractor Boys get one of the automatic spots. Sorry. Any news on Roy's successor? Yeah, it's me. It's me. I'm taking over. I'm now the gaffer. I am now the manager. Look at me. I am the manager now. Of course, we get Liverpool, Borough versus Leeds, a good one, and Black Cats versus Magpies. Nice. On the FA Cup, what do you think of Jess Stelling ideas on seeding? I think it has merits, but if you're going to change the draw, it sort of takes out that mystery. I'm all for helping these lower teams because obviously they get to the third round. There are 20 chances that they will get a Premier League team. There's 20 chances that they will go home, that they will play either at the Etihad or at Old Trafford or at Anfield or at Goodison, at Selhurst, at Bramall Lane, at Villa Park, Emirates, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, London Stadium. It's why I love the FA Cup. I think the FA Cup, and I think that I've not ever talked to anyone who's ever disagreed with me. The FA Cup is the greatest cup competition in the world in football. It's better than everything because you get everyone involved, and you can always say on the day it's always that happens inside the 90 minutes of football. But with the FA Cup, there is the magic of the cup. Everyone says it. It's one of the cliche, but it is magic because you will get magical runs. You will get a team from the conference north or south, or even from tier 6, have a beautiful run and just run. and they'll draw up against teams in and around them, or they'll just come up against a Premier League team and they will run right through them. They will put the Premier League team to the sword and brush them aside, because it happens. It happens with the Championship. It happens with the Premier League. Complacency and overestimating. Can't even speak. Overestimating or underestimating. One of the two. The dyslexia is kicking in. Whatever. But you know what I mean. There's always going to be a giant killer. That's why I love the FA Cup. So I think, no, don't seed them. No, because I know we are, I know it's boring. Oh, Arsenal, Liverpool will probably get the choice. You can watch it on the Premier League. But if the BBC or ITV or whoever's got the FA Cup this year are smart, they won't show it. They won't. You show us Alfreton Town. You show us Plymouth Argyle. You show us Newport County. Don't go showing us Wrexham. All right. We all know that they're the indie darlings right now. Oh, Ryan Reynolds, Ryan McAnally, Rob McAnally. Don't do it. No. Show us someone new. But yeah, I think Alfreton Town and Walsall are today, says Moss. We've got an Eddie Delio for you. Nah. GTA 6. I am alive to see a trailer for GTA 6 come out. Granted, it's not ready. It's not going to be ready for another few years, but yay, GTA 6. Woo. Moss says, I agree. He says, before we had all Prem games and all grown up over here, we tracked FA Cup, and the final was so huge. Spring Day, always full of celebration. The FA Cup should get the Champions League spot, as you've proven you are a cup team. We had Wrexham on TV on the weekend. Yeah, because of course we did. Of course. The FA Cup should get a Champions League spot. I think if we didn't have the Conference League, because now obviously it's a three-tier European stage. Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. Even then, winning the League Cup only doesn't get you group stage anymore. It gets you knockout stage. It gets you like qualification knockout. Interesting. Right, I've spent 20 minutes just talking about the news. But thank you guys. Thank you for all the comments and everything. That's, it's nice interaction. Yay! Social activity. Right, should we talk about the games? That's what we're here for, is it? I don't know. Are we? Let's go on. Right. Arsenal, who are top of the table as it stands going into the midweeks, have, they retained their table lead, especially after the slip up with Man City, which we'll talk about later on. But Arsenal 2, Wolves 1, Bukayo Saka and Martin Odegaard scoring very, very early, within the first 15 minutes, followed by a Cunha consolation goal at the end to provide a bit of a nervy finish. But it has to be said, Mikel Arteta has them firing on all cylinders right now. Wolves, don't be too hard done by. It's the Emirates. It's not an easy stadium to actually get 3 points away from anymore. It's not even difficult. No, it's difficult to even get a point there as well. He's Canadian. Oh yeah, he's Canadian, aren't they? Yeah, I forgot that. He's Canadian. Yeah, Cunha's really coming into a rich vein of form. What with his goals, we'll have to see if any of these 3 players who scored will be playing in their games later on tonight. I'd imagine, but I think both teams could come away with 3 points in their midweek games. I've had a brainwave. I'm going to do a bit of a Premier League preview and review at the exact same time, so that way I don't have to do a bumper episode next week. Because if I do, I'm going to be here till the cows come home. And no, I can't be doing that. Right, there's Wolves and Arsenal done. Let's talk about another London team who are at home. Let's talk about Brentford and Luton Town. Pretty easy second half here for the Bees against Luton. Bit of a dead first half, to be honest. Dead first half. Brentford, who opened the scoreline through Neil Maupay, he scores sporadically, doesn't he? Ben Mee stepping up as well in the 56th minute. to score to bring Brentford a second. Jacob Brown, who is back on the score sheet after scoring against Palace. He scores to make it 2-1, but it would be Shandon Baptiste who would wrap up the 3 points for Thomas Frank's side, and it is all good and green for Brentford. So, as I said, our top headline. Heckenbottom's gone because Vincent Kompany did a madness. He did a madness. Jay Rodriguez scores within 16 seconds. It is the fastest scored goal this season so far. And I think you could say from that goal, everything went out the window. If you're conceding 16 seconds in, your head's gone. It doesn't matter if you're professional, semi-professional, even amateur, your head's gone. Like, you are then playing back foot from the get-go. We've seen it happen so many times to other Premier League teams, to even bigger Premier League sides. Look at Arsenal last season, who conceded almost instantly. They barely made it back. You know, it would have to take a Reece Nelson last second goal to recover a point there for them, or it was a winner, whichever one it was. Jacob Bryn Larsen, formerly of Schalke, would score on the half-hour mark, and it would remain 2-0 going into half-time, but not before Oliver McBurney. That's 2 sending-offs you've had now this season already. Man's going for the record, because I swear he gets sent off all the time. He got sent off against Spurs. At least I think it was Spurs. Was it Spurs? It might have been Spurs. Probably was Spurs. Yeah, it was. He got sent off like with the last kick of the game for some balmy reason. But yeah, so he gets sent off for a flying elbow. Not one elbow, mind you. Not one, but two. Two. Two elbows going up for headers, and his elbow just clatters not one but 2 Burnley players. And he's there feigning ignorance. Like, what are you doing, mate? You know full well what you've done there. It's dangerous play from him, and he is sent off, rightfully so. Mitch says, yeah, I can't imagine what it'd be like to concede in the first minute to, say, Everton. Oof. Zeki Amdouni would score the 3rd goal. 2 minutes later, Wes Froderingham has a bit of a nightmare in this 10-minute space, with Zeki Amdouni in the 73rd, Luka Koleosho in the 75th, and Josh Brownhill even getting an 80th minute goal to end the Paul Heckenbottom era at Sheffield United. They go home, rock bottom of the table, and now without a manager, as Heckenbottom was sacked. He did know what he was doing. He full on did. The first one, you could say, okay, the arms flailing around a little bit, is, you know, like that. But then the second one, malice. There is full malicious intent in there, and I'll go as far to say is that an elbow anywhere in the head is a straight red card. But you're also looking at lengthy bans. It's lucky that the Burnley players in question came off okay, because if they didn't, McBurney's gone. McBurney's doing a 5-game stint, because if the concussion word comes into effect, bro, you're sitting at home, mate. Which I mean, I'm not gonna lie, at least you get paid for it. Koleosho is something. We need to get him locked up. He could go Italy or USA. Oh, I didn't know he was Canadian. Oh, I'm doing is Swiss, and Canadian future star Koleosho is something. Absolutely. Watching the highlights and the movement off the ball for Koleosho, not just on the ball, but the off ball positioning play from him, certainly is one to watch. And on the ball, he looked so comfortable taking his goal. Like there was no rush. He just took his time, put it past Fodringham, and Fodringham's a good goalkeeper. Don't let this 5-0 scoreline mistake it. Fodringham is a decent goalkeeper. Unfortunately, it's just one of those days where everyone lost their heads. He says Kolyosha is going to be a ball. He's looking good. He is. He is. I might even have a look at him when I play Football Manager later. But yeah, 5-0 to Burnley. First win for them at Turf Moor. I think that lifted them out of the relegation zone. At that point, they were out of the bottom three. You got it right. You got it. It's close. I know who you mean. Ross. Let's talk about Everton. A 1-0 win. But hey, a win is a win. And especially when it comes to the Toffees, wins are everything right now. So they are beginning to claw back the 10-point deduction that they were given. Dwight McNeil provides the goal. But Nottingham Forest came away a little bit hard done by. Abdullahi Decore was seen pulling a Nottingham Forest shirt. I forget who. I cannot recall right now, but he is seen as pushing a player down in the box. VAR was supposed to intervene, did not, which oddly enough, Steve Cooper brings back to his. If we go back to his Steve Cooper's post-match interview, he rightfully said that they got a penalty for it against Brighton for the exact same thing. So where is the consistency? And he's questioning, again, we are questioning referees' consistency. Which, honest to God, it feels like I have gone through every single episode I've been on the Premier League Review Show this season. I have spoken about referees. I'm so done talking about referees. Honestly, I really am just done speaking about referees. Essentially, let's. I feel like this. This is me talking about referees all the time. I'm just sitting here. I'm like, I'm getting sick and tired of talking about the referees and their consistency because I'm not going to lie, they're a bunch of muppets. They couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat. Moss says, maybe company turning this around. Maybe. It's only Sheffield. This would be my warning to anyone who thinks that Burnley could turn this around from here. Curb your expectations. It's only Sheffield. They caught them on the worst possible time. It could be a banana skin. So company has to be very, very careful. McNeil's goal was nice, but man, I had Forest at 1-0. I think I lost points on that. I had a draw. I can't remember. Actually, I can check. Did I have hang on. I won. Yeah, there we go. Well, that was predictions league. We'll get into that. We'll do a bit of a recap on that one. But yeah, 1-0 to Everton, beginning to claw back points. Now, the question I have for you, my dear viewers, all three of you. You're a lovely three. Thank you. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you. So reports are coming out following this result that Erik ten Hag has received complaints that he's training the players too hard. Players are running around like, and they don't know what they're doing, and they don't know why they're running. Apparently, this was a rumor spread by tabloids and social media journalism is always going to take effect, is apparently Eric Ten Hag had lost 50% of the dressing room. Ten Hag and Manchester United came out today and said that this was false. Is that damage limitation? Is that just them just trying to put a lid on this story? Is this just trying to be like, no, we're not talking about it. No, everything is fine. Is this the on fire picture of that? And it's like, this is fine. Yeah, this is great. Because I have a funny feeling that Ten Hag does not have a lot of time left. Heckerbottom's gone. I would have said Company might not have a lot of time left, but then obviously this win is going to galvanize them. I reckon the next manager to go is Mr. Eric Ten Hag. How long does he have left? Because it just seems that they're going nowhere. That's a good one, Mitch. That's a good one. Anthony Gordon scores the only goal in this game, which earns Newcastle a big 3 points. Anthony Gordon's for England, by the way. Put him in the England setup already, Southgate. Come on. Come on, do it. Do it, you coward. But let's really focus on this. How long does Eric Ten Hag left have at Old Trafford? I would say by the end of the month. Or if they come away with the FA Cup. Because right now they don't look like they're even going to qualify for Europe. They're not playing attractive football. They're relying too much on Casemiro and Varane to save them. Rashford's not really doing a lot. Bruno's still a whiny little bitch. Yeah, I said it. I don't rate Bruno Fernandes or Bruno Fernandes, whatever I was about to break watershed there. I do not rate him one bit. I think he's a whiny little bitch. Anthony is a show pony. That's about it. Oh, you can do a couple float overs with a ball. Oh wow. No, I think Ten Hag's gonna go. He's definitely the next manager. If he's there at the end of the season and Man United don't have anything to show for this season, because they're not going to get into the Champions League next round. They're not. They're really, really not. Let's face it. They're going. Well, they've got Bayern. Yeah, Harry Kane is going to do illegal things in that Champions League showdown. I'm calling it now. Ten Hag's going to go, and to be honest, it's a shame because he has come in with a brand new philosophy. And the philosophy works. We've seen it work so many times. I think it's just a case of he was the only person dragging this Manchester United, this new vision forward. There's so many things that have gone wrong, and it's not his fault. I'm sorry to say, but I think the problem is the players. The problem is the players. We saw it before, where the dressing room walked out on so many managers before. We've seen it even at other teams. We saw it at Chelsea, where the dressing room dropped their performances, forcing the manager to get sacked, and then they picked him back up again, and the fan base called them out on their BS. This is what's happening now. You've got Manchester United fans, pundits at the highest level, all the way down to fans, to your everyday Joe, who are sick and tired of everything that is happening at Manchester United from top to bottom. The only thing that I would say Ten Hag has got going for him is that he's giving everybody chances. We've seen Mainu come into this team. Brilliant performances from him in the last few games that he's made with Manchester United. So I credit to him for that. But I think Manchester United do not deserve Erik Ten Hag. To be honest, I don't think Manchester United deserve anybody because, frankly, they're ran like a business, operated like a business. They have no heart or soul. Or at least it's yet to be found again. The heart and soul of that club, of that institution of football, was Sir Alex Ferguson. And after such and such a time, they will never ever have that again. And that's what they're looking for. They're looking for the next Sir Alex Ferguson. There will never be another Sir Alex Ferguson. Ever in history. So they need to stop looking at managers like, you're going to be the next Sir Alex. You are our next man to give us 25 years plus of titles and everything and trebles. Manchester United do not deserve Ten Hag. Quite frankly, they don't deserve Premier League football because I think they're a shambles. They have been for nigh on 10 years. Can you imagine this? 10 years. It's balmy what's happening at United, and I know I shouldn't be biased. I should be unbiased, but quite frankly, I'm loving it. I feel sorry for the fans. Okay. But the club and the institution that it has become is a laughing stock of the Premier League. And I'll say it here and now officially. Manchester United are the biggest embarrassment to the Premier League in its current form. They are the biggest embarrassment. Some more comments. That was a nice little run I've had there. So, would I take Ten Hag at Palace if he had the backing? If he had the transfer budget? At this point, Montana, I would take. I'd take this pair of scissors over Roy. I would take my mug over Roy. At this point, this Maryland cookie, which I'm going to eat, I would take over Roy. Yeah, that's it. I'll take anyone. Bit of a pause there as well. Right. They played Bayern in a week. Would they change before then? Probably not. They won't change. They won't change. I haven't read the Man United interview actually. Well, I will do that. Bayern have already qualified in first place, so they'll probably rotate. Man United actually has a chance. Yeah, they have a chance, but Galatasaray are going to go all out. And this is still Bayern Munich. It's still Bayern. Like, and it's Man United. They're going to want to knock out Manchester United. They're going to have to. If somehow the other two in the group draw, they'll actually escape the group. Now, Galatasaray will go all out. Wilfried Zaha's gonna run it. As the Americanization, I guess you can see it with Textor at Lyon. Yeah, we spoke about that on Sunday. Was it Sunday? No, it was Saturday. Was it Saturday? Well, we spoke about that during our State of Palace stream, where we spoke about Lyon. We spoke about Textor. Go ahead and watch that if you haven't already. You can also see JC just get utterly embarrassed, which isn't his fault. Big up Rich. Sorry, I just missed that comment there. So I guess wait until after that is sorted out. If Bayern play a weakened team, Man U still lose. That could be the breaking point. When you see how much Champions League football brings to a football club, not necessarily Manchester United, but a football club, it is huge in comparison to going down into the Europa League. Like you're swapping your Tuesdays, Wednesdays for a Thursday, which then means your Premier League games or your league games are going to be affected because you have to move to the Sunday. It's going to hurt Man United. Big up Rich, big up the gaffer in the chat. Montana says, but to be fair, Ten Hag was warned by LVG and Ranić. He said he knows what he's doing. He's getting what he deserves. I both agree and disagree. I agree that he is reaping what he's sowing, but at the same time, when you've got players who are, just throwing your cross stitches out, a bit of a sewing term there, it's the right needle with the right thread, but the wrong fabric. That's a nice metaphor for you. Yeah. I reckon the straw that will break the camel's back, as the proverb goes, is two things. Two, he'll stay until the end of the season. Because sacking him now, who else is available? No one. No one of that stature. They've given him this project. Then he needs to see it through to the end of the season. You've got Ratcliffe. So Jim Ratcliffe is due to be announced as like minority shareholder soon. So maybe cash injection then to sort out what's happening on the pitch. Two, I'm not going to lie, but there are a lot of players at that club that could go for dirt cheap money. Sancho. Camberwell boy. Come to South London. Please, I'll take anyone over Jeffrey Schlupp. You've got so many players who could leave for dirt cheap money. Just take the loss, Man United. Just take it, the loss. What have you got to lose? Huh? You're not going to win a title. You're not going to win a European trophy. You're in a chance of winning the domestics. Just start again. Cut the dead wood. And I mean cut. Get rid of everyone. From top to bottom. Bin them all. Start again. Montana says, I heard Moyes is in the running for the... No. If that happens, I'll choose another red and blue team. I'll choose Basel. Or Carlisle United. There you go. I'll support Carlisle United if we get Moyes. I think Rich puts it best. If we get Moyes,
This ain't looking good, man. It's not looking good at all.
Thanks, Rich. Right. Let's talk about Bournemouth Villa. Cracking game at Bournemouth, who were in action tomorrow night against Palace at Selhurst. Antoine Semenyo scores the first goal for Bournemouth. Very, very well taken goal. But Leon Bailey equalises 10 minutes later, and it would be Dominic Solanke, who is always in a rich vein of form when he's playing up front. 52 minutes on the clock, and he fires in to put the Cherries ahead. But Ollie Watkins, probably who's just a step better, I would say, than Solanke, at least this season, fires in a 90th minute equaliser to save a point for the Villains. And yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad for Bournemouth. Villa are definitely a difficult team to play up against, and to get a draw there. It's unfortunate that they didn't get all the 3 points, but I think Iriola can't be too disappointed with the draw. would have been nice to have the 3 points, obviously. But you can, here's a little quick spoiler alert, you can join Nathan and myself tomorrow night at 7 p.m, where we will be going live to do a watch along for the Crystal Palace versus Bournemouth game. That's live at 7 tomorrow. So don't miss out. Join us. We'll be talking all things Palace. We'll go through the lineups, talk about news, what's going on, lineups, all that stuff. So yeah, Nick and Nate back together again on the channel, the brothers of discussion. Castillo would be proud of that. Right, a couple more games to get into. Now we're getting into the thrillers now. Do you know what? We'll do thrillers all at once. Let's get this out of the way. Right, we drew. Kuda scored. Edouard scored. It was a draw. London derby. We always seem to get a point or 3 at London Stadium. Blah blah. Yeah, it was a game. 2 teams played. Moving on. I'm waiting for the laughing emojis, or I'm waiting for the. I'm waiting. The brothers of discussion. That's what I called ourselves. Undertaker and Kane. If I've got the long hair and I'm being called Undertaker in the WhatsApp group, then yeah. I mean, there's no wrestling character who was a bus driver. We all know Nate loves his buses. There ain't no bus driver. That'd be his finisher. Instead of a pile driver, it'd be a bus driver. Discussion, yeah, because originally it was him and I on the Premier League review show, and this is what I came up with. Yeah. Nick and Nate, who were not the brothers of destruction, the brothers of discussion. Yeah. No, not really. I know. I'm not funny. I'm the funny looking one of this channel, guys. I aim to entertain by making you laugh at me. You know, it's the way I do things. I'm gonna let this one sit. Hang on. I'm gonna Rich, remind me about this comment tomorrow. Okay. Just send me a message tomorrow before you go to Selhurst, and just say, remember the finisher 468. I'm gonna use that in my intro. Tomorrow. No spoilers as well. Right. Yeah, we talk about Palace West Ham. It was a draw. Woo. Good for us. We got a draw. Right, Chelsea. I'm quite proud about this one. Battle of the Blues at the Bridge. I'm pretty sure I could have shortened that, but hey ho. You know me and my subtitles. I like doing this. Right, Chelsea win at Brighton. They win at the Bridge against Brighton. There's a lot of B's in there. Enzo Fernandez, who there was a bit of chat on social media. It's like, is this Enzo Fernandez experiment kind of working? I think that's just Chelsea fans embracing their inner Man United fan, being like, oh, we're not doing anything. Oh, nothing's happening straight away. Football fans are impatient, man. Dear me. You are an impatient lot. He gets 2 goals. Hi.
What's happening? I just wanted to quickly come on before I go and get the girls ready for bed to say I've joined.
Yes! My guy.
I'm involved. It's obviously the PS5. It's the PS5 version, so apparently, like I spoke to CM and he's like, he's never seen it before. So I'm the guinea pig for the console version, basically.
Console version is okay. I've played the console version on my Xbox, and it's weird to do without a mouse and keyboard. That's why I just do it here on my PC. But you will enjoy it. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, there's another one for Football Manager. Oh, that's made my day. Oh.
I know what's the start. I'm in big problems. I'm like calling into work. Yeah.
Sorry about that. My right wing has come down with the flu.
Literally. Right. I've just got in from work. I'm gonna go get the girls ready for bed.
Thank you very much for joining us.
Be in the comments.
Peace out, Rich. Peace out. Well, there's Rich. That wasn't that nice? Nice little Rich has appeared meme. What's Rich doing in the impact zone meme? If you're a wrestling fan, like, you'll understand what I mean by that. But anyway, Magiccutioner would. Where is Magiccutioner as well? He's usually here. He's let me down. So yeah, Chelsea 3, Brighton 2, Enzo Fernandez with brace. Levi Colwill also getting on the score sheet, but Conor Gallagher getting sent off in the 45th minute didn't help things. I'm going to butcher this name. I really, really am, and I'm scared for this one. Facundo Buonanotte? Buonanotte? Is it Buen or Buon? Buonanotte, because there's an O in there. Answers on a postcard. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, please. If you know how to pronounce his name, I'm just going to call him Facundo. Okay. Facundo scores in the 43rd minute just before the Conor Gallagher sending off, and João Pedro would score in the 92nd minute just to make Chelsea sweat a little bit at the end. But it is 3 points for Poch. And yeah. Are the balls falling off at Brighton? I really hope so, because they're not doing well. They're losing a bit of form. And I'm here to see it. And we love it. Right. Keep up with this one if you can, because good Lord. Right. So let's look at the timeline. Bernd Leno scores an own goal. Unlucky, mate. Unlucky. It happens. Harry Wilson comes back to Anfield and haunts them. He used to play for them. If you don't know, get to know. 4 minutes later, so it's all level. Then McAllister scores, puts Liverpool back into the lead. Kenny Tete equalises in the 45 plus 3 or 48th minute. That's not. Then Bobby De Cordova-Reid puts Fulham into the lead at 3-2. Yeah. Then Wataru Endo scores in the Wataru Endo scores in the 87th minute, and 60 seconds later, Trent. My Lord, what a goal! Honestly, he's my second. He was second in my little decision to name Baller of the Week this week. He very nearly got it. Very nearly got it. But yeah, great game. This is the Premier League at its finest, ladies and gentlemen. Liverpool 4, Fulham 3. A team that has no right in scoring 3 goals at Anfield, let alone conceding, let alone going 4-3 at Anfield. That's a thriller. And then so if Arsenal win tonight, they go 5 points clear of Man City. Intriguing. So Heung-min Son pretty much stars as a one-man show in the first 10 minutes of this game, scoring a cracking goal in the 6th minute. And what does he go and do 3 minutes later? He puts it in the back of his own net. Unlucky. Phil Foden would score in the 31st minute to make it a 2-1 lead for Manchester City. In between then, I haven't watched the highlights because I've just been so tired. I'm not gonna lie. So right, Giovanni Lo Celso scores in the 69th minute. Jack Grealish scores in the 81st, and Dejan Kulusevski scores in the 90th to rescue the draw. So the Simon Hooper thing. If in doubt, let play go on, then go to your VAR. No? Is this what VAR is meant to do? Is it meant to? The clue is in the damn name. Assistant video assistant referee. Are you not just going to use the little microphone you've got in your ear and just go, "Excuse me, have I got that one wrong?" Do you know what I miss, guys? I miss the days of Pierluigi Collina, because that guy, right? He didn't need no VAR. That man's eyes were the VAR. I'm just so sick and tired of referee mistakes. At least the Haaland memes were funny. They were pretty good, but other than that, oh my god, Simon Hooper. But yeah, well done, Spurs. Obviously, you know, it stems, it blocks up, you know, this poor run of poor form. So yeah, good for them. Right, we passed the hour mark, and I don't really like going past the hour mark, as I meant to say now. Oh, do you know what I've just realized? I've been on the wrong setup this entire time. I've got to change it to purple. I did not know this. There's the FA Cup draw. So there it is. Look. There it was. Oh dear. Right. It is time for Baller of the Week this week is Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon. Solo goal, his run of form just really has made him deserve this one. So well done. I was about to say thank you, Anthony. Thank you. You can tell I'm tired. Right. Time for never gets old seeing Bashiwai's head get caved in by that ball. That was funny. Simon Hooper. We all know why. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no team of the week this week because I forgot to do it. Great hosting. Right. So what's coming up later on tonight? Tact Eagle is back with the Tact Eagle tag team of Dan and JC. So stay tuned to the channel for that. Tomorrow night, you can see Nate and I watch along. You can see Nate and I do a watch along for the Bournemouth game. Of course, fan cams will come out as well from Rich, JC, and everybody else going to the game. So if you are going to the game, have a look for them post-match. Get your thoughts in. Thank you very much to everybody who's watched this chaotic episode of the Premier League Review Show. I will be back next week with even more chaos, even more drama, and even more stuttering. So yeah. Bye.